Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Kaliyugada Kalpataru, the fifth delight, Shri Raghavendra Gurusarvabhauma. Chapter 69, the departure of Shri Sudhindra Tirtharu. Following the tradition of the Mahasamsthana, that is, pontifical lineage, Shri Sudhindra Tirtharu embarked on a journey accompanied by his beloved disciple, Shri Raghavendra Tirtharu. As they travelled, they were received with unprecedented honor and welcome wherever they went. The people of India, witnessing Sri Raghavendra Tirtharu's divine radiance, profound scholarship, and unwavering commitment to the welfare of the world, felt blessed by the darshan and service of both revered gurus. After travelling for 2 to 3 months, Sri Sudhindra Tirtharu, along with his disciples, arrived at Hampi Kshetra, on the Falguna Shukla Dvitiya, that is second day of the bright fortnight of the Falguna month. The representative of the Karnataka kingdom, along with Vaidikas, that is scholars, and local dignitaries, offered them an extraordinary reception, arranging for the stay at the royal palace. At Hampi, Sri Sudhindra Tirtharu and his disciples, including Sri Raghavendra Tirtharu, experienced great joy in offering worship and service at the Vrindavana shrines of the revered previous gurus of the Mula Mahasamsthana, including Sri Padmanabha Tirtharu, Sri Narahari Tirtharu, Sri Jaya Tirtharu, Sri Kavindra Tirtharu, Sri Vagisha Tirtharu, Sri Raghunandana Tirtharu, and Sri Vyasaraja Guruvulu. The final instructions of Sri Sudhindra Tirtharu. As per the command of Sri Sudhindra Tirtharu, Sri Raghavendra Swami Guru took charge of performing the Mahasamsthana Puja, that is, ritual worship of the pontifical seat, scriptural discourses, mantra initiation, mudra dharana, that is, sacred markings, and dharma teachings, blessing numerous disciples and devotees. 10 days passed in this manner. Suddenly one day, Sri Sudhindra Tirtharu fell ill. Wishing to immerse himself in deep penance and meditation, he moved to the sacred vicinity of the Vrindavana shrines of Sri Padmanabha Tirtharu, Sri Jaya Tirtharu, Sri Kavindra Tirtharu, Sri Vagisha Tirtharu, and Sri Vyasaraja Guruvulu. While continuing his daily rituals, prayers, and penance, he limited his intake to just fruits and milk, focusing entirely on meditation. Eventually, he completely abstained from food and engaged in uninterrupted contemplation of Sri Hari and Vayudeva through japa, that is chanting, tapa, that is austerities, and dhyana, that is meditation. On the Falguna Bahula Dvitiya, second day of the dark fortnight of the Falguna month, in the year Shalivana Shaka 1445, corresponding to the Rudirodghari Samvatsara, after completing his morning bath and rituals, he sat in yogic posture and called for his most beloved disciple, Sri Raghavendra Tirtharu. He then imparted the highest spiritual teachings of Srimad Acharya, that is Madhvacharya tradition, placed his divine hands on the heads of the worthy disciples, and blessed them with a prophecy. In your time, the Mahasamsthana of Srimad Acharya will attain world-renowned glory. The Dvaita Siddhanta will shine forever, free from all obstacles, as bright as the sun and the moon. May all beings attain prosperity and well-being. May a grand literary and philosophical movement be established, strengthening scriptural discourses and teachings, just as our revered Guru, Sri Vijayendra Tirtharu, commanded us. You have descended for this great mission. Sri Hari and Sri Vayu will stand by you, bless you with their infinite strength, and enable you to fulfill this divine task successfully. I bless you with universal victory. After offering these final words of guidance and blessings, he bid farewell to his disciples, entered deep meditation, restrained his breath, and while chanting the name of Sri Narayana, merged with the divine abode of Sri Hari. Hundreds of disciples, devotees, and spiritual seekers came to have the final darshan of the revered Guru, feeling blessed and purified by the experience. Upon hearing the news of his Guru's departure, Shri Raghavendra Tirtharu was overcome with deep sorrow. The entire matha was plunged into grief beyond measure. Following tradition, Sri Raghavendra Tirtharu enshrined his Guru's sacred remains at the same holy site where previous Gurus, Sri Padmanabha Tirtharu and others, were laid to rest. A Vrindavana, that is sacred shrine, was then consecrated. After completing the ritualistic worship of Sri Moolarama, he performed the ritualistic anointing of the Vrindavana with golden water, that is Kanakabhisheka, offered sacred libations, that is Sastodaka, and wept profusely while composing a final shloka in honor of his Guru, which meant salutation to Sri Sudhindra Tirtharu, whose intellect was as sharp as the tip of Kusha grass, whose wisdom shone like two suns, who instilled fears in his philosophical opponents, and who constantly worshipped Sripati, that is Bhagavan Vishnu. After offering the Mangalarati to the Guru Vrindavana, he performed a ceremonial prostration, dedicated sacred mantra flowers, and bid his final respects. On the day and the following day, following tradition, Sri Raghavendra Swamiguru performed the Mahasamaradhana, that is, grand final rites, of his Guru with great devotion and grandeur. After completing all rituals, Sri Raghavendra Tirtharu, along with the Mahasanstana, proceeded towards Kumbhakona. The Dvaita Siddhanta empire, which had flourished under the divine guidance of Sri Madhvacharya and his illustrious successors, had been nurtured and protected by Sri Sudhindra Tirtharu on the sacred banks of the Tungabhadra river. With his Guru now eternally absorbed in penance at the feet of Lord Hari, the goddess of knowledge and prosperity, Rajalakshmi, who had once resided at Tungabhadra, now moved towards Kumbhakona, taking refuge in none other than the ocean of virtues, the supreme scholar and the true successor of the Mahasamsthana, Sri Raghavendra Tirtharu, Gurusarvabhauma. Thus, Sri Raghavendra Tirtharu ascended to the pontifical seat of Srimad Acharya's Mahasamsthana, carrying forth the glorious spiritual lineage of Sri Madhvacharya and ensuring its everlasting illumination. Hari Om. Om Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.